Welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to dive into risk management. So this is where the real trading related learning begins. Now, as I said, psychology is super important, but in terms of building your mindset, it is not directly related to trading. So risk management is where that really begins. It's where the processes and protocols actually will begin to form. So in this chapter, we are going to talk about risk management, the different processes, the different methods that we use, and why they're all so important. In this video, we're just going to talk about the basics and get introduced to risk management. So, what is risk management? What is this risk management that we speak of? So, this is the process of protecting the capital that we use. So, when we're trading, our number one priority should always be to maintain the money that we have. If without maintaining the money we have and without being able to control the risk that we put ourselves to, we can never make money because we are just going to be losing it. There are specific parameters that we actually put in place to cut risk when we are losing trades. Now, as I spoke about before, no one is going to win every single trade. We do lose. And that is why we have to be able to manage risk. This is what separates the winners from the losers, those who make money from those who lose money. Because of all the variables, this is the one that we can actually control to make sure that when we win, we outweigh the losses that we've taken. We have mental processes and mechanical processes, things that we can simply follow step by step on every single trade. And then, of course, the mental side comes in. As I said, psychology creeps into every other area of trading, and the mental side of risk management refers to essentially the area where we need to be able to keep our cool when we're taking losses and keep our cool when we're making wins. So, why do we need risk management? Well, I think I've said that already, really. Losses are a normal part of trading. Everybody takes losses, and if we don't control these losses, they're going to wipe out the winning trades that we do take. So, for example, if we make a $300 winner, but we follow that up with a $300 loss, we're not making any money, right? So, the idea is we balance that out by making a $300 winner, but then only taking a $100 loss, as an example. Now, this way, even though we've taken one win and one loss, we are still looking at a healthy $200 of profit. So, that is essentially why we need risk management to actually form that balance and maintain that balance between the wins and the losses to make sure we're making money even when the markets throw losses at us and throw us a curveball. So that is why we need it. The different aspects of risk management include the mental side, which is the discipline to actually follow the rules and stay calm, because when we lose our calm, lose our cool, we start getting irrational, we start getting driven by emotions, and we can end up taking some bad decisions. So the mental side of risk management is a big one. We also then have the mechanical side of risk management. Now, when I say mechanical, I don't mean that we get this done by a machine or anything like that, but these are simply the step-by-step rules that anyone could take, right? We like to take them like a robot. There are strict processes that we have to take on every trade to do with how much we risk and when we're actually going to accept a loss, okay? So we've got the mental side, the mental psychology-based side of everything. We've got the robotic type rules that we have to follow on every trade. And then we've also got these parameters. Now, these parameters essentially go into our overall trading plan and refer to the rules and the limits that we set in place to control loss. So if we lose a certain amount in a day or a week, are we going to stop trading? Things like that. So the mental risk management leads on from psychology, leads on from that chapter we just spoke about. We have to develop our mindset for emotional resilience. We spoke about that. And we have to build discipline as well so that we can take these rules and be strict with them. That's where the mental side of risk management really comes in, and how it is, of course, so important and why it is so important. Those set processes are the mechanical area of risk management, the step-by-step robot type processes that we have to follow, setting the right position size on each trade, which means setting the right amount of risk on each trade, setting up a stop loss order on every trade, which is an order that cuts off price when it hits a certain level. So say we are in a losing trade, it's going to cut off when we lose $100 rather than allowing that loss to grow out of control. And following a risk versus reward approach. Now, this is the biggest area of trading. All trading, this is the thing that makes us succeed. So risk versus reward will be talked about heavily and is a very, very important aspect. So take note of that. So those parameters then, the limits and goals for gain and loss. Now, to avoid excessive losing streaks, we want to make sure that we don't, if we take 3 losses in a row, for example, we will cut off our trading. Or if we take 5 losses in a row, if we are a more aggressive trader, we'll cut off our trading because we don't want to hit an excessive losing streak that's going to burn a massive hole in our account. These parameters, of course, then set limits and goals for how much we gain. We are going to cut off trading when we make 5%, or we're going to cut off trading when we lose 5%. This helps you to avoid getting greedy, okay? If you've got no limit on your gain, you're just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to make loads of money. It's also going to help you to avoid big losses once again, because if you know, right, we've lost this amount this week, we're going to stop, and we'll come back next week when we are, refreshed and ready to go again. So these parameters are mostly going to fit more so into the trading plan chapter, which comes towards the end of the standard course. So we will be talking more so about the mental side of risk management and the mechanical side of risk management in this chapter, and we'll get into this later in the course quite in depth. So in this chapter then, we'll talk about those mental aspects of risk management and the mechanical aspects of risk management. And that's all for this video. We'll dive right into the mental risk management now, start digging into the learning now that you've been introduced to what risk management is and why it is so important. So without further ado, I will see you over in the next video.